Hi guys, thank you so much for stopping by. So today I'm going to do another book review, and this is entitled The Coincidence of Callie and Kayden. This is the first book of the Coincidence series written by Jessica Sorensen. If you're new to my book review videos, what I typically do is give you information from Goodreads.com and then we go from there. This is what the book, the cover of the book looks like. Okay, right there. It looks pretty steamy actually. Anyway, I'm gonna give you info from Goodreads.com. So this is rated 4.2, average rating out of 5 stars from Goodreads.com, rated by 105 and 439 people that rated it. From the best-selling author of The Secret of Ella and Micah comes a mesmerizing novel of fate, friendship, and the healing power of love. The Coincidence of Callie and Kayden. For Kayden, suffering in silence was the only way to survive. If he was lucky, he could keep his head down, do as he was told, and make it through the day. But one night it seemed like his luck and his life might finally end, until an angel named Callie appeared just in time, to rescue him. Callie has never believed in luck, not since her 12th birthday, when everything was taken from her. After the worst was over, she locked up her feelings and vowed never to tell anyone what happened. Now, 6 years later, she continues to struggle with the painful secret that threatens to consume her. When fate lands Kayden and Callie at the same college, Kayden is determined to get to know the beautiful girl who changed his destiny. Quiet and reserved, Callie still fears letting anyone else into her world, but Kayden is certain that Callie has come back into his life for a reason. And the more he tries to be a part of her life, the more he realizes this time it's Callie who needs to be saved. The genres this belong to from Goodreads is new adult, romance, contemporary, young adult, college. I would also add contemporary romance. First published back in December 13, 2012, again written by Jessica Sorensen. I think this was the first book that I actually read by Jessica Sorensen. I forgot to add in the genre, there's abuse in here, different kinds of abuse. So it's a dark story. So I started reading this book. I don't know. It really didn't capture me immediately. Or maybe it did. It just wasn't very in your face. It was kind of subliminal, I guess, in that aspect. And so, for whatever reason, this just made me keep on turning the page and turning the page and turning the page. And I'm really, really glad that I did, because this was such a beautiful story. People who have experienced abuse in different forms in their life, and this really hit home for me because I did experience some abuse in my life. I'm not gonna be specific about it right now because it's not the time. I want to focus on the book. But when you are a survivor of any kind of abuse, may it be physical, mental, psychological, sexual, I'm pretty sure there are other abuse out there as well, you have one thing in common. You always feel like you're small. So this really hit home when it reached to the point in which there was some abuse in the story. This really hit home for me because a survivor of abuse, a lot of times you do feel like you are in this bubble, in this certain world in which this is all you're gonna get. This is what life is. And what you just need to do is just make sure you do everything that you can so your abuser or abusers won't keep hurting you. And you become this other person that you don't even recognize because you're trying to survive. So I really did understand that part, especially Kayden's part, because, you know, it says here, you know, he just did whatever the abuser in his life wanted him to do just so he can avoid certain pain and abuse in his life. And I completely agree with that, and I completely understand. oh my gosh, I don't want to cry, but it's so beautiful how it's sort of a serendipity kind of way how Callie and Kayden really somehow get reunited. And they're in the same college and they get reunited. They're in a different phase of their lives, and they have, I guess, in a sense, they want to feel and live a life that is different from what they were used to, especially the darkness in their life. So that was a good thing. And because they have this darkness in your life, you do kind of feel all of the nasty things that have been shoved in your throat. No matter how wrong that was, you still hear that in the back of your mind that you're this small. So having each other and discovering each other's beautiful spirit and soul, and having to encourage each other and letting each other know by discovering each other in that sense was really beautiful, because it's hard to relate and listen to people a lot of times, especially when you're in that kind of frame of mind, or you have been in that kind of frame of mind. But when you have somebody that has went through similar darkness in your life and says all these wonderful things and does all these wonderful things in your life, you do open your eyes and accept the fact that the life and the bubble you were living in was definitely just all wrong, abuse and abusive, and that person was a monster. So this was such a touching story in that sense. And I think that was why it really roped me in, because of that connection. Yes, there's some romance in there. There's a lot of sadness, and this is definitely a very dark book with a lot of light in it. So that really surprised me, and it's just like right now thinking about it again, it gives me a heavy heart because of what they endured, and I've been there. And a lot of times you just deal with it because you don't know any better, or you've really believed the abuser or abusers and what they have said, and you're worthless, you're nothing more than just this big, no one's gonna care, no one's gonna believe you, all the same rambling abusive lines that they all say to you. You believe them, and then it's just a breath of fresh air when you actually are, away from that type of environment. I feel like I'm gonna cry. This was very touching. You can definitely feel the emotion in there. And just so you know, this is for me anyway, this was very emotional for me. It just hit home so hard. Just so you're aware, there is so much darkness in the story, and there's a lot of abuse. So just put that into perspective and put those variables in there before you read this book, and just brace yourself, because it is beautiful, but there is a lot of darkness, and you really will need a bunch of tissues for that. There is also a lot of light in there, and I feel like the variables and all the mixtures of the dark and the light in there it just makes it such a beautiful story. So I recommend this story in this book so much, a lot actually. And it's hard for me to reread this just because it really does hit home for me, and it is very painful. And I think this is the first time I've actually opened up about that side of my life. And so, going through something like that really wasn't easy. And so I can relate a lot, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that went through something dark in their life. And if you are one of those people that are similar to me, this will hit home hard. If you haven't really experienced that kind of darkness, this will rip your heart out, and you are going to really, really be emotionally crushed. You're going to just feel the pain. The pain is so raw that it made me gas so hard and hiccup even. It was just, oh my gosh. So, anyway, from rating from 1 to 10, I am going to give this an 8. I really enjoyed the story. It was very dark, yet also a lot of light in there, which I loved. Because, you know, even if in darkness, there's always going to be that light. You just have to really pay attention to that. I do give this a 2 thumbs up. And if you guys have any suggestions, comments, you just want to chit chat about the book, you want to discuss the book with me, feel free to chat down below. I'd love to hear from you guys all the time. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, and the bell so you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. Don't forget to expand the description box, because as much as possible, I always try to get coupons for you guys, discount codes, and other goodies like that. I also have my Twitter information, Instagram, Snapchat, and for business inquiries, I have my email there as well. Thank you guys, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.